Welcome back to the farm. We are on Alma, Missouri. This is the Big Country Series. It's the Big Country Series live from Bone Dry Farms. This is episode 26 of the Big Country Series. And we are just getting started. Yeah, so you see the John Deere 8400R. We are going to finish up these potatoes. We got a few rows to plant. And then we're going to jump into the spring tillage. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that from here on out, and I have actually been doing it after each episode, but after the episode's uploaded, I am going to be putting timestamps to make it a little bit easier for you guys to view the episodes after we're finished up here. As we'll get the John Deere 8400 started up, the 8400R. So yeah, I will be adding them in. I'm going to add it into the comments. I'm going to add it into the info also. Just make things a little bit easier. And we'll be getting started here. So yeah, we are on Alma, Missouri. These are the fields we just purchased recently. The John Deere is gassed up, ready to go. And yeah, if you look down into the right-hand side of the screen, the John Deere does need some work done. It does need some maintenance. So yeah, we're a little overdue of pulling this into the garage and doing some maintenance on it. So yeah, we did not finish this field in the last episode. Let's get back on track here. And yeah, let me get this set up for the steering. We want to get the GPS on. Alright, should be good. So yeah, we need to finish these rows of potatoes here. And then we are going to get to some tillage. Like I said, we got a lot. We are in spring. So I want to welcome you guys back to the farm. And as I said, yes, we're going to be starting out with potatoes, and then we're going to finish these 2 or 3 rows, and then we're going to be heading over, getting into Ford 1156, getting some tillage done. And as you see, once we get to the end of this row, as we did kind of leave off here in the last episode, that's going to be a little interesting here. Looks like the GPS should line that up. But yeah, we did not plant any headland rows in this field. We're just going to have to allow some room because the harvester we're going to be using is going to be the tow behind harvester. Eventually, when we get to that point, we are going to need some room to turn that rig around. So yeah, we're going to leave about this far empty here. And what I plan to do is, in between episodes, I am going to actually plant grass in this headland part. So it is going to kind of grow in. And that actually does remind me that other fields we did plant. Let's get out and look at this really quick. We'll head over to this field. Head down here into where the stream runs through. And so yeah, we did plant these headlands all the way to the end. I went in and I plowed them under. I know it seems a little counterproductive on the farm, but I did that so we do have room to turn around with the harvester when harvest season comes. So I did it at both ends of this field and the other field all the way down there. So yeah, just a heads up with that. I did go ahead and do that because we were having problems. We could barely turn the tractor with the planter around, so you can only imagine how much of a problem that was going to be when it's time to harvest these potatoes. So yeah, now we got plenty of room with the headland. So we'll get straightened out here. Alright, there we go. Back on track here. And potatoes are just rolling in. Yeah, I cannot quite read that whole comment. It did get cut off, but I did see something about moccasins. Yeah, I was down in the trenches there. I got a little soaked. A little mucky weather here in March. It's a little overcast. That's not stopping us from getting these potatoes in. episode 26 right now of the series. I want to thank everybody who has joined us. We are on the dirt road. Yeah, the dirt road. Since we are in Alma, Missouri, we are on the dirt road to 100 subscribers. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that has stopped by the channel and checked it out. And I really do appreciate that. So yeah, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this and you enjoy watching Farming Simulator and you want to come along for the journey, be sure to subscribe, like the video. It helps a lot, definitely with the algorithm, that YouTube algorithm. And yeah, comments are always appreciated. That's probably my favorite thing beyond anything else, is the comments, because yeah, the feedback, I really like the feedback that I sometimes get on the farm. We haven't got a ton of it, but at the same time, the input I have got, I really enjoyed. You know what? I think, should we plant down through there? I think that's actually gonna be more than a row. Yeah, let's finish off this field. Let's get our money's worth out of these potatoes. We did run out of potatoes at the end of the last episode. I had to run into town. I bought a lot of them. So yeah, we still got 6,900 liters in the planter right now. So yeah, we'll plant this last one. It looks like it's lining up pretty decent. Get a little bit of a look in there at the planter. Got the calders working pretty good. Hopefully I don't hit the truck. This is going to be really close. I'm going to have to move the truck. Don't want to hit this trailer. Let's hop up here. There is the potatoes that we are feeding in the machine. Some good seed potatoes there. That's Yukon Gold. That's a nice batch. Alright, let's get in the F350. Climb through the passenger side here. And let's see. Yeah, we got this hay type trailer. They're always a little tricky with the way they turn on the axle there, but alright. All good. And yeah, you can see that's forming some really nice hills for the potatoes, so everything is looking good. Just over there is the Ford 1156. We are going to be getting into that big field. Let's open up the mini map really quick. That's field 5. That is a huge 60+ acre map. That is going to be really fun to get into. It's really going to be like we're doing a tour of that field when we get over there, because I have not properly drove around that field, so that first headland pass, we're going to get a good look at it right after we finish up this last row of potatoes. Let's hop back into John Deere 8400R. That's a nice setup, isn't it? And you see them row crop tires, they line up perfectly in between the hills. That's why we went with the row crop. And kept the wheel weights on there. Probably not necessary, but I do like the looks of it. So yeah, we do got 3 potato fields. They are field 14, 13, and 6 on the mini-map. And this is the last of them that we are going to be planting, so let's get the work lights on. Add a little atmosphere here to things. Back in the cab of the John Deere with the Grimmy. I believe that's how you pronounce that, Grimmy? Grimmy potato planter. I always wondered how you actually pronounce that company's name. I always pronounce it Grimmy. Guess some people may say grimy. I don't think so. That's a pretty unfortunate name for a company, grimy. At least in the United States. Grimy's not good. Alright. So we did plant it from one side of the field to the other. We let the headlands open. The headlands right here, which is the end of the field. And yeah, so when we get that harvester running down here, we're just going to be running straight up and down the field, and we'll have plenty of room back here to turn around. And as I said, I do want to plant grass here. That just kind of filled in, make it look a little realistic, because realistically, if you let this go, weeds would grow in here. And weeds probably actually will grow in here since this actually is part of the field. So I don't know, maybe we'll see how that starts to develop as the potatoes grow. We might just let this as it is. Might look realistic enough. Hop back into John Deere. And we're going to go park the John Deere, and we are going to get in the Ford 1156. As you can see it down there, off in the distance. Well, now you can't. I am in the cab of the John Deere, so it's a little harder to see, but we are going to head down to the end of this field and hop over there and fire up the big diesel motor at the 1156, and we are going to start doing some tillage. Alright, should be good right here. Shut down. So I think, let's check, do we own that field there? Yeah, we own field 4, so that is currently, I think that should be a hay field. Should be grass. Could be mistaken, but I thought that is a grass field. It's a small field. That is ready to harvest. That is grass. So yeah, that's a hay field. We're probably going to plow this under. And yeah, because we got enough hay fields, so it's kind of unnecessary at this point. And this field that we are going to be getting into the tillage with, the reason I want to get this is red beet. Yeah, red beet that is withered. We bought this field with red beet in it. I decided I didn't want to harvest it. We had no use for it. We could have made a lot of money, but at the same time we would have had to rent or buy a lot of equipment. I didn't think it was necessary, so yeah, we are gonna till this under. We're not gonna plow it. We're not gonna plow the whole field, but we are gonna cultivate it here. As I would say, that is more of a cultivator than anything. So yeah, that is what we're going to be getting in there. Tearing up some of that root crop, getting it ready, because I believe this is going to be a cornfield. Let's get to it. There's the Ford 1156. What do you guys think of that tractor? That is a nice looking tractor. The Ford 1156 Versatile. Designation 6. Yeah, that's a monster, isn't it? Let's climb up into the cab. And get it fired up. Oh yeah, it sounds like a V8. Not sure if there's probably not a V8 in there, but sure looks like it could be. That's a pretty cool animation inside the cab. Well, inside the motor there, if you guys can see that, actually has the fan spinning. Yeah, I like that. Really good textures, as this was part of the Plains and Prairies pack, I believe that's what you call it. Yeah, I remember the old Ford mowers. It definitely gives that kind of look to it. Let's head into the menu really quick. We want to show the lines. It's showing one headland pass. Boy, this headland pass. Wow. This is going to be a journey. I actually think we're going to turn around and go the other way, or else we're going to be going in a real long straight line to start off. So let's turn this around. How you doing? The Drifter from Hours. Welcome back to the farm. I appreciate you stopping by. How you doing today? Alright, let's turn the lines off. Yeah, we're going to get turned around. Let's go the opposite way here, so that is good. I'm glad you're having a good day. We're just doing a little farming here. We did plant some potatoes, and now we're going to be doing a little bit of tillage here. I know normally you would plow the red beets under. I know the root crops you want to plow under, but since they're just that withered away, we are going to be more or less cultivating here and getting ready, because I do have plowing turned off. These fields are so big that plowing does take a long time, so kind of going to go this direction, and we're going to look at this field here for the first time. And yeah, hold on a second here. One more time. I don't know why I did that. You can lime, yes. Alright. And yeah, so we will start on the journey around this headland. It's going to be massive. You can see this field is absolutely huge. going to take in the scenery of everything. This is a hay field to the left. As I said, we're probably not going to keep that as a hay field. I think we have plenty of hay fields right now. So we might plow that under. That's either going to be corn or soybean, as that is going to be the main crops this season. This is going to be a cornfield. This is a new field we purchased. It was almost like $700,000, which that is a lot. Speaking of that, we did take out $1 million loan about 3 or 4 episodes ago. So yeah, we got to work towards getting that back. Yes, a wheat field is a good suggestion, but unfortunately we are in March. I don't think. Let's get into the menu quick. I believe, because I do have seasons turned on, so yeah, we actually do have 2 wheat fields that I had to plant by September, October, which I did, and they are, the wheat fields are here, field 9 and field 8, so they are planted with wheat. That's a pretty decent amount, and this is field 5 that we're in currently. Let's get back to it. We got a huge lap here. Need a little more horsepower here, it seems like, in them low gears. Just wants to keep downshifting. Gonna have to crank on the gears here a bit. Let's go. Gotta get going. Gotta get some traction in this field right now. This is a really nice, well done tractor. It's nice to see a genuine Ford tractor in the game. And this actually brings me something that I just remembered I wanted to say this because I was thinking about it today. When you're in cab like this, like I love doing the in-cab view, but wouldn't it be really cool if you could toggle between like a split screen where, say, like on the left you're in cab, and on the right side of the screen it'd be like this view, or whichever view you'd kind of prefer if you'd like in like that. I just thought that'd kind of add a little bit more to the game. I don't know if that's possible. I'm sure it's possible, but I don't think it's a feature that they're working on that I've heard about. There is a pond in this field we bought. But yeah, that'd be really cool, like, or if you were doing this view and it was half screen and then the in-cab would be half the screen, or like a picture-in-picture where maybe you could divide it up into 4 screens, like the top left would be an in-cab view, the top right would be an out-of-cab view, and then, you know, maybe like a close-up, and then the bottom left and right could be like a tighter view and something like that. I don't know, just something I'm throwing out there. I just thought that'd be really cool to kind of see, because I do like driving in cab a lot, and I know some of you guys like it, and I'm aware some of you may not, so that's all to the developers. I have no idea. I'm just thinking that would be kind of a cool option. Kind of dawned on me today, and I was like, just wanted to share that with you guys, see what you might think of that. But yeah, basically be just different views on the screen all at once, and you could kind of control, you could kind of look at whatever view you want and just control it from that. Oklahoma and Arkansas, are you saying is that real news? I haven't looked at the news very often today. That field right out there on the horizon, that is limed, I believe. So yeah, we got to the back of this field. Yeah, it's just a really big field. I just like how the tree lines kind of separating. You could make this into 3 small fields if you wanted to, which I think would be pretty decent. I haven't really decided if I wanted to do that yet. I did plan on making this one whole big cornfield, but yeah, I could probably split this up to maybe some of the sections are soybean and some of the sections are corn. Probably work out half decent. We are gonna have to check in here in a minute see where we are with that $1 million loan. And since I really haven't skipped forward, severe storms, yeah, that's not good to hear. Yeah, this time of year you got a whole lot of things going on with the weather. A lot of areas in the south are getting hit with hurricanes and stuff like that, so definitely not good to hear. Yeah, rice is a good suggestion, but I think we're kind of keeping this more of an American style here on Alma. I haven't got into planting any rice yet. I don't know if you've done that. How's it working out for you? I just never dove into that yet. Seems interesting. Oh yeah, the grass field, the small hay field. Yeah, I got you there. Yeah, it is a very small field, so something like that could make sense. Doesn't seem like the tractor's sinking up here right now. This is just a really big field. We're still on this headland pass, obviously. It's taken a while. Gonna have to kind of freehand this one here. Gets a little tough in tight turns with this tractor. It seems to bog down a little bit. But we are pulling a very big implement on the back, so probably gonna double back right now and do that section so we don't have to dive down in there again when we come around. I think there is only one headland pass, but let's just knock this section out since it's so small. Lord, Ford 1156 is just rumbling. Very good at sound effects with the tractor. We got a lot of field work to do now that we are in spring. This is just the beginning of it. Coming up in the future episodes, I do believe I am going to be leasing one of the planters that we can just direct drill some probably corn and soybean, since we have so many acres, and most of it did have corn or yeah, most of it was corn last season, so we're going to probably direct drill the soybean right over top of that. So yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. We're probably going to have to lease something from the store. And let's go into the menu quick and take a look at this loan. So yeah, we took $1 million loan out. Where are we in finances? So yeah, we currently still owe $870,000. We've cut into that pretty good. And the dairy cows, how are they doing? They're in pretty good shape right now. Just under 10,000 liters of milk. So yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit until we get some more milk. And let's check on that. Is the calf barn. They're doing pretty good. 100% health. So yeah, they are 4 months old already. And yeah, so the cow pasture, we did move a couple of the calves out to pasture, and we do need to get some food for them. So yeah, they got 0% health currently. But yeah, so we're not going to pay any of the loan right now. I kind of like to keep the balance up around $200,000. So probably by the end of this month, when we sell off some milk again, then we're going to have some money to pay the loan back a little bit. Little by little, it is $1 million, so It is a work in progress. Oh, the dairy cows, yes, the dairy cows are the moneymaker. Dairy cows are the star of the farm. As we are running a dairy farm here in Alma, Missouri. As you can see right over there, that is the custom farm I made. If you guys have not seen the farm I made in that spot, stick around. We should be getting over there eventually. And if not in this episode, definitely in a future episode. So if you're new to the channel and you kind of like hanging around here, you like what we're doing on the farm, definitely appreciate if you subscribe and hang around. John Deere Cedar, you know, let's head over to the garage. The drifter from ours, let's head over to the garage quick. Because I think, I want to know if you're talking about this one. Is that the one we can direct drill with? We did use that last season. I wasn't sure if you could direct drill with it. I'm assuming this might be the one you're talking about. The 1775 NT. It's a nice rig. Exacting merge. Doesn't... I think you can direct drill with that one. Let's go into the menu really quick. And see if we can find see if I can find this quick. Yeah, planters are a special type of seeder. Yeah, so this seeder offers the possibility to seed directly. No previous cultivating or plowing. Good call. I appreciate that because I was thinking of going and probably that one there. You can also do it with. But yeah, the working width on ours is almost 18 meters, so... Yeah, good call. I appreciate that. And that is what we're going to end up doing then. That is why I appreciate you guys commenting on the videos. You definitely help me out. I don't pretend to know very much about the game. I just like to have fun. So yeah, I appreciate that comment. The 8X tractor for that attached seeder. Yeah, you might be right. Well, the 8RX. Trying to think because I used this in here last time. Let's find this tractor really quick. I used the 8400R to power shift. That is what I used to plant last time with that planter, so it did happen to work pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna be direct drilling some corn and soybean, I believe. I did want to get some tillage in here, though. I do enjoy it. It's just we got so many acres. And I figured instead of letting the AI do it, instead of hiring a worker to do that stuff, we're going to try to do as much as we can on screen. Obviously, this field here is looking to take a pretty long time. There's the homestead, there's the farm. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure everything's ready to go with that. Next episode, I'll do a little testing, get ready for that. But yeah, I appreciate that feedback. I really do. Helping the farm grow. Because we got a massive project here. We just purchased over 100 acres with that $1 million. The big part of it is this field. It's 60 plus acres. And it's gonna really be a sight to behold once we get some stuff planted in here and get everything going. Make sure we're hitting the edge of the field there nicely. Looks pretty good. Yeah, that's doing a good job on the red beet. In cab at a Ford 1156, the big dog here. Yeah, I definitely have been keeping my eye on the mods. That's kind of like to get in there and take a look at them before I play if I kind of miss something. I do like to add some new tractors, some new implements to the farm as we're going. Kind of keep it fresh, keep the series fresh. Don't want to be using the same tractors every time, but at the same time, we do have a huge loan we got to pay back, so can't be getting too crazy with the bank account. Nice little pond down there. I do think I'm going to try here coming up, maybe in that episode where we do some direct drilling. Maybe before that, I do want to try to create some fields. Now, not like a field within it on its own, but probably add to some of the fields over near the farm. I think some of them I want to square off just a little bit. So yeah, I haven't really messed with the create fields, so I might have to brush up on that off screen and then maybe do it in an episode. Like I said, some of them fields in the back, if you look down at the mini map right now, I think there's some wasted space there between field 1 and field 9. I'm not saying they're going to run together, but yeah, I think there is some wasted space down there. We could probably go in and create some fields and add to it a little bit. Add to the farm. Keep rolling right along. Yes, we are still on the first headland pass, believe it or not. I'm not sure how long in real time we've been doing this, but yeah, this is a massive headland pass. This field, I believe when we bought it, it's over 60 acres. That is counting the wooded land here and the pond and all that, but it's still a very big field. It's the biggest field we own now. It's going to be a huge profit for the farm if everything goes well. For the people who may be watching right now, I'm not sure what happened there. I just accidentally hopped out. Yeah, I'm wondering what you guys might actually be playing on. Are you playing on console or are you playing on PC? It's always nice to kind of know what you guys are up to when you're playing, or how you play, what maps you might play. I know Alma, Missouri ain't everybody's cup of tea, and believe it or not, when I started this map, I really didn't know I'd like it as much as I do. I'm from the northeast part of the United States, so we don't have fields quite like this, and we don't have terrain quite like this, so yeah, PC definitely got some perks, no doubt about that. But yeah, anyways, with Alma, like I said, this wasn't a map I necessarily thought I was gonna love. Alright, let's lift this up and take a look really quick here. Yeah, so now we are gonna start running. We're gonna start running the rows. Alright. We'll just cut right in here and start one. Got a lot of work to do in this field. Oh, definitely a big weight off our shoulders. We do got all the potatoes planted. We got all the potatoes planted in fields 6, 13, and 14. So it's a decent amount. It's the first time we are planting potatoes in this series. We did lease the potato planter, and we're also going to be leasing the potato harvester when that time comes, because we are working to pay back this $1 million loan. So yeah, unless we get a really good harvest, maybe with the wheat and the bales, I just don't see us owning that machine. I think we're probably going to end up leasing it, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. We are just getting this farm going, really. We are in the second season of it. It's actually the third season, really. The first season was kind of a half season that we started. We started later in the season in like July, August, I think. And then we did play through an entire year. And now we are in episode 26 and we are in March of the third year on this map. So yeah, we definitely have got settled in here. We got 162 dairy cows currently. And I don't know if we're ever going to buy another dairy barn and expand that or not, because the 162 is a pretty good number considering how much TMR I gotta feed them. I'm doing a lot of feeding for the dairy cows off screen, and I do it all manually. I don't use the auto feed, so it does get to be a little, well, actually gets to be a lot of work with the cows. So I think right now with the amount of money they're bringing in and everything, I think 162 has been a pretty good number for us. We'll get turned around here. Let's get straightened out before we miss this. Yeah, the good thing about this cultivator here is the working with. You get a lot done. I would have really liked to do the red beet harvest that we are plowing under. We're cultivating under right now, the red beets. As I said before, I know technically we should be plowing them. I understand that, but we are taking this here, yeah. Cows need to grass, yeah. Yeah, I think the meadow is actually pretty good in the game. It seems like the meadow doesn't go down very much at all. But yeah, the cows out in the pasture right now, we do need to get them. We do need to get the calves that are in the pasture some food. Yeah, I put the calves out the pasture and we never did take any food over to them. I think you can get a load of TMR and probably, I'm not sure if there's any left in the mixer. We might have used it all. I'd have to look and see exactly how the pasture ends up taking that. I do know the calf barn itself, I think that did take the TMR. Yeah, it did. We had about 20,000 liters we put in there. They haven't gone through very much. We have, well, originally I think we had 15 calves in the calf barn. And then we moved about 7 or 8 of them out to the pasture, and then we got about another 6 or 7 or 8 of them inside the barn itself. They will be heading back to the big barn soon, once we kind of get our use out of that for a couple more episodes. We were waiting a long time to get them over in that calf barn, so I don't want to rush them out of there. Letting them settle in a little bit. Definitely really been looking forward to doing these live streams. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. As I said earlier in the episode, I know they do tend to be long, which probably when you're watching it live ain't that bad, because you can interact at least. Afterwards, I will be adding timestamps into the episode. So if you're hanging around or you made it this far through there, once this episode has concluded, I'm going to go back. I'm going to make some timestamps. I'll put them in the comments and I'll put them in the info. Make it easier to move ahead. And then, yeah, it should be easier for you guys to find different high spots in the video. This in here, we are doing a lot of tillage. But some of the videos, I do tend to jump around a lot and do various jobs. So, yeah, I'll be doing that from now on. And I actually have started in the previous videos to kind of start doing that. So again, yeah, that will be there to make things easier there if you're viewing after the video has ended. Usually the live streams, I don't know how long I'm going to play. I usually just hop on and play until I feel like we kind of got the objective done for this episode. Yeah, that I will be keeping that John Deere seeder. Absolutely, we're going to be putting that to use. I did like that when I used it last season. I planted the corn with that. Yeah, and it worked really nice. I just didn't know you could direct drill with it. So yeah, I appreciate that information. It definitely helps. Because I was going to waste some money on a lease there. So yeah, you probably saved the farm $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a lease. As I'm assuming, we would have needed that for quite a decent amount of time. And I know some of the equipment in this game, it can get pretty pricey when you're leasing. It probably wouldn't have been that much. I know the tractors do get up that high. But yeah. I think the point there is, you definitely did save the farm some money, so thank you. Can only imagine what kind of corn harvest this field's gonna be when we get to that. It almost might be a field where we might have to rent a combine and get 2 combines going. That's gonna be complete nonsense. 2 workers running at the same time. That could get crazy. 2 workers in the field at the same time with the combines. What could go wrong with that? I think after we finish this row, we're going to hop over to the calf barn quick and take a look at it. Take a look at the pasture. Alright, let's head over there really quick. Alright, where are you guys? Alright, so here is some of the babies there. There they are, just squaring off with each other. Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't put any straw bedding in there. I don't know if there was another way to do it, but it wouldn't let me do that with the straw blower. But yeah, let's go to the pasture. I'm wondering what I can put in here. Food-wise, let's see. Food, water. Let's go in here and see exactly what it's letting us do. Food, so I'm thinking you can probably take a bale. Straw, milk, water, productivity. Food. Okay. Hay. I'm guessing I could probably put a hay bale in here. I guess it'd be a hay bale I could probably throw in there. Where is the International 1206? Let's go get a hay bale and get it in there for the cows. Go over here and find the tractor once. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff parked in the way. We'll head down to this end of the barn. We're just going to have to move the truck and the tanker out of the way. Yeah, I think the cow pasture should take a hay bale if I'm correct. If I'm not, you guys can correct me. I'd definitely appreciate that. Get the truck out of the way here quick. And this is the cow barn we're using, so yeah, there is the dairy cows, as we are now on the main farm. If you guys haven't seen it before, I did create this and put a lot of work into it, so if you catch a few glimpses here and there, I do hope you like it. This is the auto feed barn, which is kind of funny because we don't use the auto feed at all. Yeah, 1 hay bale. Alright, there it is. Yeah, so I believe the cow pasture should take a hay bale. Again, if I'm wrong, we will correct that. And we'll run this over here quick because we're just taking a little break of doing some tillage. The Ford 1156 is out in the field waiting for us. We just decided that, you know what, these calves out in the pasture do need some food. So let's get them something here. I haven't really used a pasture, so forgive me, I don't know what might happen here. I am going to try to put it in here. I know it takes grass. I do remember that because I did that on Riverbend, so I wonder if it's not going to accept hay. Could be totally wrong about this. Hope not, but could be. Alright, well there is a hay bale in there. Hopefully, yeah, there it goes. The food is going. As you probably can't see that in the right-hand corner because the numbers are pretty small, but it is taking this hay bale currently. This hay bale, yeah, it's actually collecting there in the bottom of the trough now. So yeah, we are all good. That bale should disappear here really soon. We're at about 5,000 liters. I think water is 0 liters. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We're going to have to get him some water. That bale is about ready to... There it goes. Alright, well, we got him some food. We do not have a water tank. So we may have to rent one of them and get these guys some water. Unfortunately, because, yeah, the calf pen over here does not require water because technically it's gonna say it's built into the water system here and they're tapping it out. I'd like to see that plumbing where that is. Can't find it. So yeah, these cows are doing good. They're 100% health. And yeah, they should be doing good here in a little while. So yeah, at least it did take that hay bale. And they're looking healthier already. Look at the little guy there. Trying to get his legs under him. Alright, let's park this here for now. And we're going to hop back out to the Ford 1156. And keep getting on with the cultivating here. Some tillage. Yeah, I have not used that seeder yet. I did see it in there. That's one I haven't used yet. Definitely trying to experiment with some stuff. Trying to get a pretty wide range of tractors and equipment in this series. Let's see how this is looking here, yeah. It's looking pretty good. Them red beets have rotted away. They are withered, so we're just tearing them up right now, basically mulching them up in the field. Really some good fertilization, should be. Basically like ferment it like that, so it's really like throwing down some fertilizer, like throwing down a little bit of basically like compost. Yeah, that is a small field there. Maybe we could turn that into a potato field. To make all these potato fields in the back. Because it is a smaller field. I want the potato fields to be relatively smaller so we can handle them with the harvester. So maybe we'll plow that hay field under, that grass field, and... yeah, maybe it's possible. Maybe we'll end up making that into a potato field because we still do have a decent amount of potatoes over there. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. The rice field, like I said, that's a good suggestion, but I think on this map it might be a little out of place. But yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want in the game. I mean, this is an American map, but you can plant whatever crop you really see fit. Still don't know. What do you guys think? Like these, because this field is basically split up into 3 sections. Should we just make this one whole field, or should we maybe make it kind of mix it up a little bit, make it half corn, half soybean? I'm really undecided about that. I don't know how I want to do that yet. I think making it one big cornfield and having 2 combines in for the harvest would definitely be interesting. It'd probably be crazy, actually. That would have the potential to be probably a funnier episodes than it's meant to be, working with 2 workers at one time like that. Again, I'm not sure. I was just trying to... Okay, we gotta get back to the tractor. There we go. Sorry about that. I accidentally hopped out of the Ford 1156. I was trying to go into the settings there just to see where we were. Put away the mini-map now. So yeah, we're not going to be cutting into that loan payment in this episode, but we will be doing that in future episodes. Right now, we're primarily paying off that $1 million loan with the money made from the dairy cows. Yeah, I accidentally switched to the combine. The combine we have is the Case AF11. I believe that's what I switched into. We can go over and take a look at it if you want to. But that is the combine we've been using in the most recent episodes. I think it's right about here. Yeah. That is the combine we've been using on the farm, the Case AF11. A ridiculously sized grain head, which is going to come in handy now that we're going to have some multiple grain crops with the wheat fields that we did harvest with this last season. And then the soybean. There's just something about the soybean harvest. I really enjoyed it when I did it on Riverbend Springs. So, yeah, we're going to be doing some harvesting with the Case. I believe that's still going to be the combine by then. There's the corn head. A little bit of wear on it. Still in good shape as we did a corn harvest and we did a wheat harvest. So, yeah, adding a soybean will be just a little bit more combine time. And this huge cornfield we're planting currently. Corn or soybean. If we split it up, either way, that's going to be a lot more time spent in the combine. So I'm looking forward to that. And I did go with the Case AF11. Primarily because it does hold 20,000 liters. And with some of the sizes of these fields, you had to keep up with the combine with the grain cart. We needed a little bit bigger capacity. So yeah, that was my main thinking behind that combine. The size of the head, the size of the grain tank. Makes things a lot easier when you're harvesting. Go back and hit that spot. Want to make sure we plow under all these red beets. Get this field. I'll have to look into that one, the John Deere. Yeah, let's look at that. Is that a mod or is that a base game combine? Because if that is a base game combine, we can go in the menu right now and take a look at it. If it's a mod, we're going to have to hold off. Let's take a look here in the combines. Combine harvesters, the John Deere. Oh yeah, it's a big boy, isn't it? Yeah, that has a 16,200 liter capacity. Let's see what we can do with that. Yeah, United States version. There we go. You got the European version, which is equally as nice. And then, yeah, you got the US version. Let's go back to that. A little bit more narrow tracks for the European. A little bit wider there for the American. Let's look at the pipe design on this. Well, you might have sold me on this combine. That's pretty cool looking. And there you got the bigger pipe, shorter pipe, and then I'm wondering if it gives an option. It looks like it's all going to be tracks no matter what you use. Yeah, that would be fun to do a corn harvest with that. That is nice. I'll have to keep that in mind. That might be a combine that we're going to have to lease. Let's go look at the leasing costs. That is a lot. They really bang you up with the leasing costs in this game, but for the amount of work we're going to be doing, it might make sense. It really might. So, yeah, that's a cool looking combine. Thanks for that suggestion. It's a really good looking combine, actually. A little bit smaller capacity than the Case AF11, but that's still better than a lot of the combines that had the 10,000. So, yeah, we could definitely work with that. That looks like it's going to be a fun one to use when the time comes. I have to write that down in my notes. Yeah, we'll have to think about that because it was a $700,000+ combine, and we do have a $890,000 loan out. I think if we go buy a $750,000 combine, we may be heading to foreclosure on the farm. I don't know. We could probably swing it. I like your mentality though. Just go ahead and get it. That's the way to do it. I will pull up the head back here. It seemed to get off course again. Pull up the mini map. As you can see, we are working in field 5 and we're getting close to doing the one section. It's almost done. We're getting closer. We're definitely not going to finish this field up in one episode. I'll probably end up finishing this field off camera, most likely. I believe next episode we are going to be on the planning. I'm going to have to make a decision on that field just over there. What am I going to do with that? Could that be a potato field? Could that be a soybean field? Could it be another corn field? Could it be a rice field? I don't know. These are the decisions I'm going to have to think about all day. To get this farm moving in the right direction. I was really thinking too, we got a ton of manure. We got a lot of manure. We probably got close to 200,000 liters now. And as much as I do like the manure spreader we got, we're either going to have to get another manure spreader or something's got to give there, because the manure spreader we have, it's just not made for this map. It's way too small. Let's head in here if you guys don't mind. Let's go in, and yeah, I'm on the wrong screen again. Let's go into the manure spreaders. Where are they? I should remember this stuff. Manure spreader. I know it's always somewhere I'm not thinking of. There it is, manure spreader. So yeah, we're currently using the Kuhn, the SLC 141. And you see that only holds 15.6, I believe 15,600 liters, and has a 10-meter working width. We need something a little bit bigger. So we got 15,000. We need one of these big boys. See, that is a US version of the Samson. I originally had this. Somebody suggested that it didn't make sense on this map because it was a UK version. But this is the United States version, I believe. That's what it's saying. And yeah, the working width and the capacity. If we're going to be using the manure, we may need to have to get rid of the manure spreader because it's really been an inconvenience. I really wish we had a slurry pit. Unfortunately, this cow barn that we're currently using, it does not allow you to use a slurry pit. And I think I talked about this before. If you guys are new to the channel, it sounds like it's probably a ridiculous conversation to have. I like the idea of spread manure probably more. but the slurry is just more convenient. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not. But yeah, you cover a lot more ground quicker with the slurry. And the slurry just seems to go a lot longer of a distance in the game than the manure. But yeah, I guess, like I said, it kind of sounds ridiculous, but I'm a little more in favor of the manure. But I would say the slurry is just more practical, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm caught in between there of doing the thing I like and doing what makes more sense. I usually tend to do the thing I like. I usually choose that over making sense of anything. It's a bad habit, isn't it? Let's get an in-cab shot. Look at that pond. Let's get out and see if we can see any fish. Maybe some frogs jumping here. Get down in the muck here a bit. See if we can see if there's any smallmouth in there. Some largemouth probably. Is there any fish in this pond? I do hear a frog. Probably scare him out of the bushes here. Hear that? That is a bullfrog. Where are you? Where are you? I can hear him. Alright, that is a nice view though. We'll have to head back down here at some other point in time. That is a good look at me in game. And that is similar to what I look like in real life, unfortunately, I guess you might think. But yeah, kind of close. Let's get back in the tractor and get back to it. Gotta climb in the right side. We want to keep this realistic, don't we? Get back up in there. And make sure we don't slide down into the pond. I'm not totally sure. I think your message kind of got cut off a little bit, but yeah, there might be tornadoes going on somewhere. Alma is in Missouri. At least this map's located in Alma, Missouri. For all I know, there could be an Alma, Arkansas. Probably likely that there is. I mean, just doing some tillage here. Some spring tillage. I just want to thank you guys that have been tuning into this episode. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the comments. Like that you guys play along. That's what this is all about. That's why I do the live streams, for the interaction, and it is more convenient for me. There's no doubt about that. Than doing the episodes. When I started this channel out, I used to edit my episodes, so I just didn't have time to do that. So I appreciate you guys that do watch the live stream. And as I said earlier, I don't like to repeat it too many times, but we are on the road, the dirt road to 100 subscribers. Yeah, well, I got the cell phone sitting in the tractor right now just in case there's a tornado warning. The weather looks pretty clear here though currently. Got the wife and kids back at the homestead here on Alma. Yeah, we are on the road to 100 subscribers. That would be a huge milestone for the channel. But above all, I just appreciate the interaction. It's been really fun doing these live streams. So once again, I want to thank you guys, whether it's your first time on the farm or you're a returning viewer. I always appreciate the input. It's what makes it fun. There's no doubt about that. It's what makes these live streams fun, and they are unpredictable. Let's zoom in on the Ford 1156. Hear that diesel power? That's pretty cool animation in there. You can see the drive shaft turning. And you can also see the fan turning there on the Ford 1156. So we're just trucking along here. Doing a little spring tillage. We are in Field 5 on Alma, Missouri. It's a huge field. 60 plus acres. Fields 14, 13, and Fields 8. Well, Field 6, sorry about that. 14, 13, and 6. we did finish planting. They are planting with potatoes. We just finished at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, we did start this episode out with doing some potato planting. Kind of picking up where we left off at the end of last episode. As I did run out of potatoes. That really went bad for me. I was trying to get a worker to reload the potatoes, and unfortunately, if you were ever in that boat like I was, you sadly found out that yes, the worker will technically rebuy the potatoes, but only for his use. If you try to hop back in the tractor, it will show 0%. So yeah, that didn't really go as planned. But we do got 3 nice potato fields planted. And we are doing some tillage here. We're probably going to be planting corn in this field. And then we're going to be direct drilling some corn and soybeans in some of the other fields. As most of the fields are ready to go. They're just got the crop from the previous season there harvested. So this is the only field with root crops, as we did buy this field a couple episodes ago. It's field 5. It had red beets in it. About 60 acres of them, and we're plowing them under. We did allow them to wither. We didn't want to take the money from them. I thought that'd be a bit unrealistic. So what we're really going to pretend in this series is that the farmer did harvest them red beets, and then afterwards he sold the field to us. So we are plowing under technically what's left of that harvest. So we're just plowing under some withered foliage, if that's the right word. I think it is. Foliage? Foliage? I don't know. Actually, now that I'm thinking about that, I think it's foliage. Foliage. Not sure how you pronounce that. Either way, we're grinding it up right now and getting a good base here for what's looking to be a cornfield. I know I've been debating that on and off during this episode. It makes sense though, because the 2 cornfields that we have been harvesting, actually the 3, we are going to rotate them to soybean. So we are going to have a decent amount of soybean to start with. So this field would basically take the place of them 2 other fields, because I think we had about 60 to 70 acres of corn last season. So yeah, this one field alone, as we look at the mini map, I'm looking, yeah, field 2 and field 1 were both corn fields. Field 9 and 8 were wheat fields, and they are still wheat fields. We had the wheat plant. Field 3 was a corn field. Field 39 is a hay field. Field 8 is a new field that I think has barley actually growing in it, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. We might just let that go. We might let the barley go, because we're going to be harvesting that soon if we do, and it's not that big of a field. So it's really not about the profit, it's more about just using the combine. If I'm being honest with you guys, I really want to use the combine again. So yeah, well, maybe we'll let that go, and then we'll have a little bit of a barley harvest there for one field come probably June or July. It should be. Let's see, barley. Where's barley at? I'm assuming it's, yeah, June. Wait, harvest. Yeah, June and July is barley. That is when you can harvest it. And wheat. Wheat is also July and August. So yeah, we'll probably do to June. We'll do that barley field. And then July and August we'll be doing wheat, and then we'll be baling them up, because yeah, we are going to save the bales from them wheat fields. Trying to get all the money we can get right now to pay back that loan, so we got the barn pretty well stocked up with bales. So we're probably going to be selling most of them off. That will be a profit. Can you bale the barley? I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. If you guys have an answer for that, I'd definitely appreciate it. Can you? Probably not. That's my answer, I think. But if you can correct me, I'll definitely appreciate that. I don't think there's anything left to really bale with the barley. It might not allow it in the game anyways. But yeah, we'll definitely be baling up the wheat fields after we're done. So yeah, it's just kind of a rundown of what's going to be going on the farm here. We're going to have a lot. We own that whole bottom right, basically right center, from the center of the map down. We own that whole corner. Plus, field 28 is a huge hay field. So yeah, our hay fields are field 28 and 39. And that's more than enough between hay bales and silage. Plus, we use some of the corn for silage. We do got the Kloss, I believe it's the Jaguar, that we use for the chopped corn, and we also use that to harvest some of the grass. Yeah, we did harvest some of the grass last season for silage. We got 2 real big silage pits. Let's take a look over them. Since we are talking about the silage pits, let's run over here really quick. Not sure what that is. Let's probably have to head to the horse barn. Just teleport it into the horse barn. There's the horses. How you guys doing out there? That's Rusty. That is Craig. Where's Rocky at? Where are you, Rocky? There he is. There's Rocky the horse. Alright, let's get over to the silage pits really quick. A little bit more of a look here at the farm. We do got a horse barn, just kind of a hobby. We're not making too much money off of it. These guys are more part of the family than they are really trying to generate any money. So, let's take a look at our silage pits on the farm really quick, now that I did mention it. This is the original silage pit. This was full at one point with about 350,000 liters of silage. We're down to 140 now. It's right across from the calf barn. There's the International 1206. And you got some of the cows out in the pasture. So yeah, this silage pit is really... we really put a dent in that. And let's go over to this silage pit. So this silage pit I'm walking towards right now, we filled this entire pit in September by cutting the hay and bringing it right into the silage pit. In that episode, you can find that on the channel. That was a really fun episode doing silage. That was actually a really good one. The worker drove the harvester and I drove the trailer, and then we did compact it. So that is one worth checking out. And we filled this entire pit, believe it or not, 353,000 liters by almost this field alone. And then field 28 just doing the headland pass, maybe like 1.5 passes. So 1.5 passes of field 28, and this field here alone filled this all up. 353,000 liters right now, and yeah, it's ready to go. It's 100% fermented. So that is our silage pit. Let's get back to the Ford 1156. Gotta start it up again. Shift a few levers here, crank on them. Get the controls all going. Alright. There we are, we just went into 4th gear. As you see it down there in the console, that is pretty cool. That is old school. It looks like an ashtray there in the back. I could be wrong, but it looks like a cigarette lighter and an ashtray in the back. Which I will not be using. I do not recommend that. Yeah, so we did finish this part of the field pretty much. We're just getting done with it. It's just really nice scenery here. Surprisingly, when I'm in this field and you look over at the main farm, some of it is visible. Our house has looked to disappear, but for some reason that barn that's almost the furthest away of everything, you can still see that. And now that I'm in cab, now it shows more, so yeah. That is a little far away for rendering, but you can see the farm there from a distance. Finishing up here. And yeah, we finished up that piece, so we did all that. We did the headland pass. We still got that big part, and then that whole other part over there. It is a lot on this map. get straightened out here. We can start here. Zoom back as we're not currently using the GPS. I don't know if it's going to lock me onto this lane, because this end lane might be a partial lane. That's what I'm thinking. I think there might be a partial lane. That's why it's trying to pull me over. So let's just follow this out and merge into this other part of the field. This is what I was talking about. It is broken up into like 3 distinctly size fields. So are we going to plant this as an entire cornfield, or do we break it up to maybe these 2 being corn and then maybe a soybean over here? I don't know. I'm going to have the answer to that soon, because we will be planting this field really soon. We got to start getting our planting done, so we may be moving ahead. Let's look at the menu one more time. I may plant that one field as potatoes off screen, and then corn, April, May, soybean, April, May. So we are going to have to move forward to April to start planting them. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to leave that one field as a hay field, which would be field 4. Field 4 down in the right-hand corner. I don't know if I'm going to leave that as a hay field, turn that into a soybean field, turn it into a potato field. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. That, I'm open to suggestions. I just don't know. As we are still doing some tillage, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in here. This is a live stream. We're doing it live. Anything can happen. I have had fun on this episode. Like I said, there's something about these live streams are just too far away. Why is it doing that? Let's see what's going on here. Is it not reading this? Oh, okay. So this field, that's what's going on. Alright. This field here wants to do vertical lines. Let's get turned around. Yeah, I do really love these live streams, so I appreciate you guys, whether you've been here from the beginning or you're just stopping by, and hopefully you are enjoying enough that you would like to stay a little bit longer. This is Alma, Missouri. We're in episode 26 of the series, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it's just been moving right along, and trying my best here to give you guys some good content, and hopefully you can just come on the farm here and forget about things for a while, just relax and do a little farming with me. As this lane is not pulling straight for some reason. Yeah, it's leaving that one strip. That is... I guess we're going to have to come back through and fix that, because we do have GPS running. But as I said, yeah, I just hope you guys like to spend a little time here. And I know there's a lot going on the internet these days, so if you do stop by and you do happen to hang out here for a little bit, I appreciate that. I think this might be about, I don't know, I've done pretty many live streams already since I've done it. Since I started doing that, I've definitely got a lot more episodes up. I know I may have said this a couple times, but if you're new to the channel, what happened was I was doing a lot of edited videos, and it was just taking up way too much time. Unfortunately, I didn't have the amount of time to do the edited videos. It was taking me a long time to do that. Even if I sit down to do a live stream that's 1 or 2 hours, it's nowhere compared to the amount of time it takes me to do a 25 to 30 minute edited video. So I really have loved doing the live streams, and I hope it's been more enjoyable for you guys. It's definitely been the pace has definitely been different doing this, But I do enjoy it now that I've settled into it. I enjoy doing the live streams a lot. So again, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I hope you join the farm, you know. Leave a comment, leave a like, and I just hope you enjoy your time while you're here, and we are going to continue this series. We are doing some tillage right now in Field 5 on Alma, Missouri. As you can see down in the left-hand screen, it's the big field, 60 plus acres. We just bought this field at the end of last season, so we are plowing under, tilling under, cultivating under, depending how you may interpret it, but I'm kind of going with the thought of this field technically was harvested, and we're just kind of plowing under, tilling under, kind of the remainder of what was left from the harvest. In reality, they didn't actually harvest the field. We did purchase the field with red beets in it, and they did wither, and I decided that we weren't going to harvest that. We didn't have the equipment for it. And I did think it was kind of a little bit too easy money, I guess, because we didn't plant that crop to start with, so that's my thinking on it. Hopefully we get a little bit sunnier days coming up here in the episodes. This is early March, so got a little bit gloomy weather here yet this time of year. Alright, I'm in there shifting some gears. Yeah, starting out, the Ford does struggle a little bit to get going. Until you get it up to speed, then we're cruising. We're moving at about 9 miles per hour right now. But yeah, we did knock out a lot of this field, as you can see over there. The section all the way to the left we finished at. And yeah, we're actually getting close to finishing this section too. Not too many more passes. I mean, it looks like a lot, but yeah, the working width that we are dealing with right now, it really does the big job, and that's why I bought some of this equipment, because yeah, on Alma we got some really big fields, don't we? Got much more of this done than I thought we would. We are about an hour and 23 into the episode. I really don't put a time limit on any of the episodes. So, I mean, if you guys want to continue tilling with me, we're going to keep going for a little bit. Doing some tillage. Let's get in here close. Get right in the field with the Ford 1156. Hear that diesel motor rumbling right now. Look there. Gotta love the colors on the Ford though. There's something about that Ford blue. That Ford blue color that just hits right, especially with the black trim. No 3-point on the Ford though. So yeah, we do got the Massey Ferguson 4900 also, which is equally as big as the Ford 1156. And the Massey 4900 does have the 3-point hitch on it. And it does have the PTO also, which, as you can see, yeah, the Ford 1156 does not have either one of them. So yeah, you can just hitch up some implements like this here and run the hydraulics. But yeah, we don't have quite as many capabilities with the Ford as we do the Massey, but that is why I like to get the Ford out here in the field when it's usually either spring or the fall for tillage. We use it for other jobs also. It has been used in pretty many episodes. We like to hop in and fire it up here once in a while. We take a look out the back window. It's done a very nice job here. Hope you guys enjoyed this tractor in this episode. It's kind of been featured for the whole episode. We did start the episode planting some potatoes. So yeah, we were using the John Deere 8400R with it was the Grimmy potato planter. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, it probably sounds ridiculous, but yeah, so we were planting potatoes at the beginning of this episode. We finished our potato fields and we moved on to some tillage. We are getting a lot done. Getting a lot done. This is the big field. But we got a lot of acres left. But yeah, getting them potato fields done. And some of our acreage is hay fields, so they take care of themselves. We are going to have a lot of fertilizing to do. We're going to have to make a decision on that manure spreader. As much as I like that Kuhn manure spreader, it's probably, if we're going to really start fertilizing with manure, we're probably going to have to get rid of it. It's just not practical for the size of this map. Hate to say it. Yeah, just like how this field's broken up with the tree lines and stuff, it really kind of adds a lot of character to it. We are getting late in the day here in Alma. I do sometimes run 5 times days for the time, but yeah, I did mention in earlier streams that when I play the live streams, I do tend to do the real time, just because the weather, if I do see the weather is going to be bad, I can kind of get the jobs done that I want to get done. Yeah, I should probably turn on the 5 times days sometimes, probably change the atmosphere a little bit around us, since, you know, you play an hour or two, it's actually gonna be quite a long time in game time. So yeah, we'll change how things are looking. Playing 5-day months. And yeah, we do have seasons on. As you can see, we're in early March, so everything's looking a little rough yet. I do like playing with seasons on, though. That's something I've always done. Just realistic, so when you do come to harvest time, you got that fall look for the corn and the soybean. That's just something for me that I always thought added a little realism to the game. I don't know if you guys do that or not. If you play with the seasons on or off. I know a lot of people do play with seasons off. It gives you a lot more options. You can kind of go a little bit more wild with the planting and the harvesting, but this is the way I elected to do this series, so we are doing the seasons on. If you're just joining the stream, welcome to Alma, Missouri. It's the big country series. It's the big country series live. I had to get that in there because I know you guys probably missed it at the beginning of the stream. I do that when there's no viewers, and it sounds pretty ridiculous, but that is the introduction to the video. So we are in Alma, Missouri, doing tillage, and we've got a lot more done than I thought. We actually only got the center of field 5 to do. It's pretty big, though. That is a big section. I don't know if we're going to finish it on this stream. I cannot promise that, but we are going to head over there and see what's going on. Let's see what it's looking like. And we did finish that whole field, that whole part of that field right there. Now let's check this out. Is this running vertical? Yeah, this is running vertical too, okay. we did that field over there. The lines were horizontal, and I will get that little bit when we come back up. But yeah, I did start that field that was horizontal, and these last two have been vertical to switch it up a little bit. And this first pass is only like a 3/4 pass. I'm not sure. Probably because this lane comes down into an angle, and it kind of gets cut off by the headland row that we did. Getting some mud collected on the Ford 1156. It's a really cool looking tractor. Plowing under some beets. Tilling under some beets. Cultivating under some beets. As we are going to make this it's either going to be just a cornfield or a corn and soybean field. If you're just joining us, I have been debating that in my head and out loud most of the episode. Getting low on fuel in the Ford 1156. Should be enough to get the job done though. And I really got to stop forgetting that the John Deere 8400R does need some maintenance. I keep forgetting about it until I hop in it. And then I realize it once I see it's in the red. So yeah, the John Deere is going to need to be pulled in the garage, and we're going to have to spend some money on it. So we use that tractor a lot on the farm. It's really the main tractor, I would say. The John Deere 8400R. Overall, it's really the tractor that's probably used the most. But we do make jobs for the Ford 1156 and the Massey Ferguson 4900. We got them both. I do got to hit that spot. Let's not forget about that. Let's get swung around and hit that. I really wish it showed who is entering the video. I want to say welcome to the farm, whoever is just showing up here at the live stream. Unfortunately, it does not show your name. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment. I appreciate you guys watching. We are doing some tillage here on Alma, Missouri. And we are, as I bring up the mini-map, we're in Field 5. It's a 60-plus acre field. It's huge, but we've managed to do most of it so far in this live stream, and also we kicked it off with planting some potatoes. And we did 3 potato fields, Field 14, Field 13, and Field 6. Planting with the John Deere 8400R. I just went off course. That could be a problem when we come back up. There might be a strip I missed there. Yeah, we did start out this episode finishing the potato fields. That was a carryover from last live stream that we did. We ran out of potatoes and things got pretty crazy at the end of that stream. I got a little frustrated with the worker. And we did figure everything out. So yeah, we did plant that. We may have one more field to plant. We currently have 9 people watching this stream. That is a record here at Bone Dry Farms. I appreciate you guys. Doesn't sound like much, but that is a lot. So thank you guys for joining this stream. I may have tied a record. I don't think we ever had 10. Can we get 10 people watching? That would be incredible. We are a small channel, and we are on the road to 100 subscribers, so I appreciate you guys. If you choose to subscribe to the channel, definitely like your input. If you like to comment and tell me what you think. Good or bad, I am open to criticism. I'm not above it. Got a lot to learn with the game. I love farming, and yeah, I think like all you guys, I love farming, and that's why I'm here, just to have fun and kind of enjoy it. So yeah, I like to share this with you guys, and it's been a pretty fun journey for me so far doing these live streams. That sun is starting to set here in Alma. It's pretty nice how the sun kind of reflects off there. That looks pretty decent. Should be some bushes over in that tree line. That's kind of... wonder Wonder how... Well, maybe there ain't no bushes realistically, I don't know. This is a recreation of a real location, so maybe that is the way the tree line looks. We're back in cab at a Ford 1156. Take a look back there here. As that has really been put to work in this episode. And there is that strip that we're missing now. I am gonna have to go back and hit that. Gotta pay attention a little bit more when I'm driving this tractor, don't I? It's just like we're out farming. We're doing some real farming here. I appreciate you guys just joining my virtual farm, but I tend to get lost in this and it just seems real to me. So I hope you guys enjoy that too. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I am playing on PlayStation 5, PS5. I am streaming from PlayStation 5 to YouTube. I wonder how you guys, if you wouldn't mind answering, how did you find this video? Are you already a current subscriber? Did you just see it viewing? Was it in like suggested videos? That'd actually be kind of nice to know how you arrived here with me, if you don't mind saying. Yes, I am on PlayStation 5. We're just moving along in this field. There's the main farm. There's the homestead. Got the house. We got the dairy barn. We got a machinery shed. And then you can see just over top of the house, there's a big blue building. That's a really big machinery shed. It fits a lot of our equipment like the combines and the planters. Yeah, I just kind of wonder sometimes how you may arrive on this channel. So, however you found this stream, I'd definitely like to know. Like I said, are you a returning subscriber? Are you new? Did you just happen to stumble in here by accident? Alma, Missouri has really grown on me, I will say that much. Like I said, from the beginning, I just heard people talking about this map, and I was like, I never played it, so I was like, I gotta find out what all the commotion's about. And what I did was I came in and I just started building a custom farm, and it's that farm in the background. It's a dairy farm. And I went into construction mode and I just started building it, and before I knew it, I really liked what I did, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to start playing on this map. And yeah, I just kind of went from there, and I really enjoyed it. I have a lot of hours into it. We are on episode 26 of the series. I don't know how many episodes we're going to do in this series. Right now, there's really no end in sight. We got an $890,000 loan yet to pay off. It's $1 million loan originally. We paid off a little over $100,000. So yeah, we got some work to do, and we got a lot to see through on this farm. I think the journey just keeps getting better. I think each episode there's just more depth to it. We just keep adding fields and adding to the story. So yeah, I really have enjoyed Alma, Missouri. Alma, Missouri is the home of the Big Country series. The Big Country series at Bone Dry Farms, that is what we're calling it. It's just because these fields are so big, it's like, it's the Big Country. I guess it's pretty self-explanatory, but I do tend to over-explain things sometimes. It's pretty nice that this field is directly across from our farm. As So we will be checking on the progress of this field on a daily occurrence. I'll be coming out in the porch of that house and just looking out at the cornfield and taking it all in each morning. Right before I head over to the dairy barn. That picked up. We really dove into this field, didn't we? I cannot believe that we're getting close to finishing this field. This is in real time. We just went all in on this. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's starting to get dark. Maybe we should get some lights on here. Let's turn them on. Let's see what else we got. There's the work lights, and that's the last of the lights. So let's go to that. Why not? We don't work too much in the evening, so let's just get the work lights on. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pretty nice. We're in the twilight of the day right now. And the Ford 1156 bogging down a little bit. Come on. Let's get in here and shift these gears. Let's get into... We're in third right now. Come on, let's get it going. Downshift. Come on. Let's get some traction. We're in fourth now. Now we're at the downshift again. That was a little bit of a struggle at the top of that field. That is pulling a lot of dirt, though. It's a nice look down there at the pond. Not sure if we're going to be able to get this in one swipe or not. Can we do it? Maybe. If we can get it turned just right. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we just got it there. We just got enough. Let's get in a little closer here. Take a look at the work lights on the Ford. Doing a little bit of tillage here into the evening. Wife probably got a home-cooked meal over in the homestead for me. I'm going to need it after getting out of the field. Doing a little bit of tillage here. This is field 5. It's a big field. We almost did the whole thing in this stream. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe that we are going to finish this field. I thought we'd do a little bit, and then I'd say, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time. But we just kept trucking on, and we're going to do it. Makes me wonder, would we be able to do a full harvest of this field in one episode? I guess if we can keep them combines moving, it is possible. If we get 2 combines in the field, we do got the Case AF11, and as mentioned earlier by a viewer about the John Deere, is it the X9? 9X, I don't know. It was a really big combine. We did view it in the store. But if we can get them 2 combines in the field, that would make for a really nice harvest here eventually. Big corn harvest. We are going to be planting corn in this field. I think I just settled on corn. Been kicking it back and forth between corn and soybean. Let's just do a whole cornfield here. We made our decision. This is going to be a cornfield. 60 acres of corn here. As we'll open up the mini map again, just take a look at what I'm talking about. Yeah, field 5. Field 5. So we own all them fields highlighted in green. We got $1 million loan out. So we got to really, really start hammering down on that, as we got a dairy farm. So right now the dairy milk is mostly paying for that loan until we get some more crops. We did pay, well, we actually put towards that was a lot from the crops that ended last season. So we actually did use some of our own money. But yeah, we did take that $1 million out. I can't believe the bank gave us $1 million loan. They don't know who they're dealing with. No, we are going to pay it back. We're not going to lose the farm. We're going to pay it all back. That is just a nice scene there with the... Here in the evening, the pond there. Let's see. Late in the evening here. If I had the fishing rod, maybe I'd be able to hit some top water right now. Give a cast out there with a nice top water lure. Get a massive explosion on the top of this pond. Nice largemouth bass in there somewhere lurking. You can hear the frogs. They're in here somewhere. I have not been able to visually see them, but I can hear them. Alright. Getting soaked now. Gotta get back in the tractor. That would be nice, though, if you could just pull out a fishing rod and just throw it, give it a good cast, and a little top water action late in the evening. Whopper plopper. That is a lure that I've used before. It makes a really annoying sound on top water for the bass. Massive explosion when they hit that. Gotta go over and get the fishing rod out of the garage. Tractor's struggling just a bit here. I'm in there cranking on the gears. It's nice how you can visually see that. Oh, now we are good. Should shift to fourth here at some point. I guess not. Oh, there we go. Downshift. Alright, here we go. We only got a couple more passes left. We are doing it. We're getting it done. There's a deer over there. If you can see him way over there in the field. Let's see him when we're out of the cab. Out here grubbing up a little bit with these fermented red beets that we're chopping up. I actually grew red beets in my garden a couple years ago. I have a decent sized garden that I do use tractors in. It's a fairly decent size. We plant potatoes and pumpkins and some other assortment of things, but a couple years ago we did experiment with red beets and they grew really good. And what happened was we didn't have much use for them. I kind of grew them just to grow them. And when I chopped them up at the end of the season, and them things would not rot away. Like, I chopped them up in probably October, November, and in the spring in the garden, when you came out, they just looked like you chopped them up yesterday. Like, that is a tough vegetable. They're pretty good if you pickle them out. If you just take a bite straight away into a red beet, it's not going to be a good day. Unless you have a taste for it. But we did pickle a few of them, and they actually turned out pretty good. But still, yeah, I mean, this year in the garden, we strictly just grew potatoes and pumpkins. Jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, actually. Turned out really well. Got some 16 to 20 pound pumpkins out of there. Got nearly 100 pumpkins in the garden this year, so that'd be pretty cool if you could plant pumpkins in this game. That's probably going to be added eventually, I would bet. And one of these coming up, probably the next farming simulator, I would bet they're going to end up adding pumpkins. I don't see why not. I mean, they're starting to add a lot of different crops. But yeah, planting potatoes is really fun too, because I have an older tractor, and I do got the discs to hill them up and all that, so potato digger to dig them out. So yeah, I really enjoy doing that. That's kind of my fix for real farming, and then the rest of it I dive in here to the game. I am surrounded by a lot of farms, so I'm kind of immersed in the world. But yeah, do not have a farm of my own. Maybe someday, we'll see. Starting out small with the garden, maybe I'll work my way up. Maybe I should just buy a combine off Marketplace for no reason at all. Sit it out in the backyard. Let's get turned around. I think we're gonna finish up the last part of this field. It's absolutely incredible. We just finished this field. We just fully did this field on this live stream. Unbelievable. Let's get this folded up, and we're going to take a ride over to the farm right now. So if you guys have not seen my farm, we're going to take a ride over right now. And we're going to take a little look at it. This is a farm I custom built here on Alma, so I hope you guys like it. I actually built this whole tree line. I have a horse trail built around this around my entire farm, actually. If you go back, I think it was the last video or two videos ago, I did a horse trail ride in it. It should be time stamped. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But there is a trail, you can kind of see it running through there, and two other wooded areas on the map. So let's head into the farm. This is the farm I built. That's the homestead there, flying the American flag as we are in Alma, Missouri. It's a little dark right now, but that is the dairy barn. There's the dairy cows out in the pasture. And we'll take a ride over here. That's the big building there that has the harvesters. We got the combine inside here. It's pretty cool with the lights on. We can actually see these lights that I did place around. But yeah, we got the sprayer. Got the big combine in there. That's the Case AF11. Let's look at it. The AF11, there it is. As I say every time, it has a ridiculously sized grain head. Look at the head on that thing. And there is the corn head. There's a little bit out back. We do got a New Holland disc vine sitting out here. There's the Massey Ferguson 4900 in all its glory, just resting nicely in the garage right now. There's the John Deere. We're going to be direct drilling corn and soybean with that bad boy. And there's the Kloss, the Jaguar 990. We use that for silage. So yeah, that comes in handy. I got the head on it for cutting hay. We do need to purchase the corn head for the corn silage. And yeah, we got the horse barn out back. We got a shed right here. It's just behind. There's the tractor yet. Keep a lot of our stuff in here for hay. We got the crone. We got a bunch of stuff for the hay. As you can see, I put a couple placeables around here to kind of add some character to things just laying around. That actually reminds me, let's go back over here quick and look at the workshop. I did build this little workshop. It ain't nothing crazy, but this is the workshop. Just added a few things around, and yeah, we're going to have to pull the John Deere 8400R in here and do a little maintenance on it very soon. So yeah, that's that barn. And we do got some various seed and fertilizer here. That's the big boy there. That's the Rogator. That is the Fendt Rogator. Let's hop back in the Ford 1156. That is the cow pasture, the cow barn. Got the silos out back. Let's take a drive around back really quick. There's the cows. They're just getting ready for bedtime. Here is the outback. This is the yard here. There's the manure pit. The manure pit. There's the grain bins. We got the conveyall. Got the manure pit right there. Let's see how many liters are in there. Almost 300,000 liters of manure. That is incredible. And yeah, so we got the silos there. This is the cow barn. Got the silage put down for them. Had a TMR, excuse me. Some straw bedding for you guys. How you doing? Cows are doing good in there. And yeah, we got the silage pits over there and this and that. So That's pretty much a overview of the main farm here. Well, let's go around here one time. Actually, we got the 2 silage pits here. And then we do got the calf barn and the pasture back here. And there is the International 1206. Just sitting on display looking really good. Nice. Yeah, we got a few of the calves. Out in the pasture. Let them stretch their legs a bit. And we got some hay in there for them, so their health is going to come up eventually. We just got that hay in earlier in the episode. And yeah, we got the calves over here in the calf barn also, and they got some TMR they're grubbing on, so their health is 100%. And yeah, that's pretty much the farm overall there. A lot of animal noises going on in the background. You can kind of see in there, you can kind of see the horse trail there. Yeah, it goes all the way around the map. It actually goes through that part there too. Goes down around the back of the calf barn. Like I said, that is in a previous episode if you want to go back. I think it was the last one. Check it out. A little bit of a trail ride there with Rusty. So yeah, that is the main farm. We're going to get the Ford 1156 over here into the garage. And get it tucked away for the night. As we just did a lot of work with it here. Like I said, I can't believe we got that whole field done. Really can't. Actually, I think we're going to let the Ford 1156... No, you know what? We can park it in the garage because we're going to be doing a lot of direct drilling in the next episode, so we're probably not going to need this next episode. Let's see if we can back this up. I'm going to try to do this live. Back up with the articulation. We're going to clear the wall. Camera's going a little crazy. Let's get turned around here. Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close there. Let's get the headlights shut off and the tractor shut down. So, yeah, that was a pretty full episode. We got everything done. Ford 1156 dominated out there. And yeah, we got that done. We got the potatoes basically finished, except maybe that one small field. So I want to thank all you guys that watch this live stream. I really appreciate it. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. So if you subscribe, I appreciate that. A like would help. We're fighting the algorithm. Small farm. Going up against the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, this has been Alma, Missouri. It's the Big Country Series. The Big Country Series live at Bone Dry Farms. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. I will see you next time on the farm. Bye for now.